Either you're very dialed or you're playing small.
Hello, welcome to CoachGrid. My name is Joe Spearden here with Kirsten Davis. Today we are talking about cost of fulfillment. And again, from a business standpoint, this is a thing that a lot of coaches, especially new coaches, tend to miss out on that can lead to a lot of burnout for you and for your clientele. So cost of fulfillment, what does that mean? When you sell somebody a program, and let's say you sell them a $5,000 offering, that requires something from you. That requires a level of time, resources, software, preparation. A lot of different things go into that, right? Tools that you build and create. And as we've worked with a lot of different coaches, the cost of fulfillment has been much higher than any coach has ever really recognized. So today we're going to talk about one particular coach that we worked with who is spending 20 to 30 hours, I think, a week just in the fulfillment process and not really even in the thing that she does best. So Kirsten, maybe kind of bring in like, she was running a mastermind, right? Mm-hmm. And spending a lot of time, not just on Excel, but in notebooks and in notepads and doing a lot of stuff manually that way, right? Yeah.
So she has these mastermind groups that come in, and within each group, there's all these different rotations that are happening. So there's trios where people in the group are connecting with each other outside of the group, and that rotates month to month. And then there's like hot seats, lots of different things where there's a calendar and nobody can have, like it needs to be evenly spaced and everybody gets their turn and that kind of thing. So she was tracking all of that manually and then having to notify everybody. And then if somebody wanted to switch, then that was being handled manually. So you can start to see, just from that little bit, how that could add up.
That's a term that we use a lot called complexity creep. Mm-hmm. And it's this idea that in any business really, but as we work more exclusive with coaches, that stuff happens just a piece at a time. And when you have two clients, it doesn't feel like a big deal to take 15 minutes for an onboarding process. Mm-hmm. Or if you have one group of 9 people to rotate that together. But one of the things that, as we talk with coaches, we build your system to scale. Mm-hmm. And we've worked with so many people that have been all of a sudden blown up and have hundreds of people. Yeah. And it is no longer possible to do that in that way.
Yeah. Well, and I think this is a good time for you out there. If right now you 10x'd the number of people that like all of a sudden you have a real blow up and everybody's going to your page, can you fulfill on that in the most optimal way? And like really think about that. And if your answer is yes, then what are you doing? Like, either you're very dialed or you're playing small.
When you blow up and you have that stuff happen, if you haven't done the work to prep for that, you're going to lose out on a lot of clientele. You're going to burn yourself out. And we've seen coaches literally stop coaching because they couldn't keep doing it that way. And it hadn't occurred to them that there might be a custom solution for the fulfillment on that system going forward. Yeah.
And I think that's a great segue into right here. I've actually got pulled up that system that we were talking about for the mastermind instance and how we were able to solve that. So you can see here, this is the back end view of this mastermind program. And in a second, we'll show you the front end view. But you can see here, it's really simple where here you've got the members and she can easily add and remove members from here. And then you've got right here a minimum and a maximum number of people. And so the way that the system works is as people are choosing their times online on her website, on the back end, the app knows when to close the doors because capacity has been reached, or say the mastermind doesn't get filled, it knows to reach out to the admin and say, hey, this didn't get filled. You have 4 people in it that you need to slot into other groups that did, meet the minimum. Right. And so that right there already solves so much time where before she was manually having to put those people into different places. So then coming over to this other tab, you can see we've got these trios. And this is where I was saying with trios, with hot seats, and she has something called Share Wisdom where people get to actually share a lesson about what they actually teach in their business. Mm-hmm. And so what happens here is once that capacity is filled and the group kind of activates, you could say, it automatically goes through and looks at who's been together before and calculates trios so that everybody's with new people, and then make sure that each rotation, those are being rotated in an equal way so that everybody gets to be with everybody. And then it does the same thing for hot seats and share wisdom.
So I think this is a really important thing for coaches to recognize, because there's a level of masochism in coaching where we tend to present to our clients and try to impress them by how much we're suffering to help them and how much we do. And oftentimes that will be recognized. But I can speak from a personal experience and working with others that if your clients aren't getting the results that you promised them, if they're not getting the experience that you promised them, they don't care how hard you're working. And if they are getting the results and they are getting the experience, they still don't care how hard you're working.
Yeah.
So if you can work a tenth or just a fraction of what you're doing right now and still get them the results, and through tech and through the different things, actually get them more.
Yeah.
Like we've worked with a lot of people that said, hey, after we've done this, I had to raise my prices because my clients were getting so much more value, even though I'm doing, 20% of the work I was doing.
Yeah, absolutely. Phenomenal. And I think just coming over here, the last thing I want to show you here in this app. So this is the client facing side of this mastermind that I was just talking about. So this is where it's a simultaneous simplification and up leveling at the same time. It's simpler and it feels better to the client. So when they come in the past, they would have to go sift through emails to be like, okay, what was my hot seat date? Or go to their calendar to find the link. And oh man, the link isn't working. Why can't I find the Zoom link? But now, as you can see here, they have everything in one place. Just on this page, you can see they can click here to grab the Zoom link, join the call. They can come and click request a swap for their hot seats. And they can also see what dates are coming up, what events are coming up, and they can interact with each other all from this one space, which makes it so much easier to feel excited to come to the group and engage with it.
Absolutely. And again, when we talk about long-term value, lifetime value of a client, when you have them in one space and they are upsold on something and they don't even know that they've been upsold, it's just like a new feature unlocked. That feels so good for them that they feel like there's growth and they feel like there's continued and increased connection.
Yeah.
And for, again, you don't have to, I got to remember they're getting close to the end here. I need to manually send this message and manually schedule this conversation. Like it just starts to happen inside of the space. So I think the core principle here for me with any business, but especially with coaches, is you probably don't recognize how much you have shifted your business to what you thought was available and the tech that you had and the processes that you had. And when you start looking at things in a different way and ask yourself these questions like, what could I do here? Not only do you fulfill faster and easier, but what you give your clients is greatly increased. And it's good for everybody through that process.
Yeah.
So for those of you, again, that are watching here, think about this. Think about your cost of fulfillment. Do you know what that is? Do you know what your average dollars per hour when all is said and done is with a client? And do you want that to be more? And do you want your client to feel like they got more from that? If so, reach out to us at CoachGrid.com and let us help you in that process.